So this is really a big deal in the social media addiction lawsuit. This is Meta, TikTok, YouTube, Snap. And just days before we were set to begin, the initial jury selection in January 27th in Los Angeles, both Snap and TikTok quietly settled their cases with a 19-year-old plaintiff. Some people say 20, but I'm not sure how old she was at the time. This is KGM, who says the social media platforms destroyed her mental health through addictive design. Actually there to manipulate the way people consume information. And this kind of leaves Meta and YouTube standing alone to face what could be kind of a landmark jury verdict, right? So why does this even matter? When companies settle at the final hour like this, it really tells you something. They'd rather pay up and let a jury kind of hear out the truth about how their platforms are affecting younger users and what the algorithms actually do. And for Snap and TikTok, avoiding that kind of public courtroom battle was worth what they paid. Okay. So what's next, right? You have the trial against Meta and YouTube. They're moving forward. Mark Zuckerberg is actually expected to testify later on this month in February. This isn't just another case. It's a first time a jury is going to really decide whether or not the social media companies can be held liable for being addictive to kids. So whatever happens here is going to ripple through thousands of similar cases nationwide, and it could force settlement talks across the industry. So for your law firms, what does this really mean, right? We're looking at a conversation about how do we handle these claimants and really, truly, just remember they're people, right? These are people and their families, and they're concerned. Their lives were traumatic in a way, right? So you have these mental health problems arise, and the parents and guardians are trying to protect their children, and their children are exposed to all these different things. They might have tried to harm themselves at some point, and these are serious cases that need a real look at how children and adolescents and developing minds really consume social media, and whether or not it's even appropriate. And were there flags that the social media companies can be held accountable for in understanding, okay, here's a user, I'm serving them pretty impactful conversation points that could manipulate how they feel about themselves, and we should be able to hold that accountable, right? There were measures that could have been taken to help prevent this. So keep that compassion front and center. These are people. And so when you prepare for what could be a watershed verdict in the mass tort history, we really want to make sure that we have compassion for these people and show them love. And when we're actually representing them, giving them a voice to tell their story so this doesn't happen again. All right. Take care, guys.